Chime in, how did you meet your girlfriend? I used to collect hockey cards and have a pretty sweet old collection. A new girl at work asked me about my hobbies and I told her about them. I jokingly said she should come over and take a look because she is kind of into hockey. So she comes over and I'm showing her and she starts laughing because she thought I was using come over and check my hockey cards out as some sort of weird cheesy way to get her to my house. I had no idea that she was into me, but we have now been dating for 2 years. Guess you can say you played your cards right, Edit. Holy shit, thanks guys. This is the most upvotes I've gotten. And thanks to whomever gave me Reddit Gold, I feel special. Glad you guys enjoyed it. My buddy walked up to a random girl and said, "You see that guy over there? He wants your body." I didn't even see her, nor him do it. She called me a week later, and now we've been together 5 years now. This is the same buddy that 3 months prior convinced the entire freshman class in high school I was actually gay. My GF had to ask my other friends if I was gay before pursuing me. He thought it was hilarious. We were on a team in college. She sat down close to me on a bench. I scooted over. She scooted over. Repeat until end of bench. I stood up. My friend Brandy saw that and said, "You stupid shit, if you don't ask her out, then I will." Married 30 odd years now. I was having a LAN party at my parents' house in high school. She was interested in exactly why I was savagely whooping everyone's ass at StarCraft and Warcraft 3, and we hit it off while I explained what they were doing wrong. She admits now that she didn't really care about the game and just thought I was cute, smiley face. I was having a LAN party at my parents' house in high school. This is literally the most unlikely situation to meet your SO. Grats, dude. Knew a girl from a couple of my best friends. Actually became really good friends with her. She was dating someone. She introduced me to one of her co-workers, and she and I have been dating for 1.5 years now. When trying to get to know a girl, remember, you can become just friends with her. Because she has friends that are probably single. As a man with a large amount of girlfriends, this doesn't work too often. They usually try to pair you off with one of their lesser attractive friends that has a great personality. Went to the same college. She was doing a project and needed different opinions on a topic and messaged me on Facebook. I misinterpreted her intentions and said we should do it in person. Been together for 4 years because I was brave enough to ask a simple question. Edit, word. She was a friend of a friend. She saw me eating an apple and said apples help you poop, and so we said that to each other every time either of us had an apple. We have been eating apples together for over 1 year now. My boyfriend has always been fairly shy and quiet. We met back in high school and had been friends for 4 years before anything happened. He'd always shoot me these awkwardly worded texts, asking what was going on, if I wanted to come to his house and watch movies. He was also pretty noobish and wore meme shirts for the better part of our friendship, so I never saw him as boyfriend material, until my ex broke up with me and I found myself at current BF's house. We'd watch my favorite movies, and he'd sit quietly and let me vent about how terrible my ex was, and then one day we're dry humping on his futon and he's no longer the nerdy friend. He definitely won the race with slow and steady. I'm glad you were able to change him. Now can you give him back to us, please? He's been missing from the internet and we are worried. My sister was going to the movies with friends, and I was told to get out of the house for once and went with, ended up sitting next to one of my sister's single friends, made a rather off-color joke about one of the pre-movie ads. A week later, I ended up at her place and the rest is history. She met me, and courted me, and forced me to hang out. I tried my darndest to shoo her off. 6 years and counting. She yanked me out of my weird shell and passively boosted my confidence. I am now very friendly and outgoing. I appreciate her a lot. Husband and I are both pretty reserved. We've been married for almost 7 years now. We met at a comic book store. He found out I'm a Batman fan and loaned me the Long Halloween. He figured that'd be his way in. Except he kinda passed a stack of books out to everyone in our discussion group, and I just grabbed the book I wanted and walked out the door without speaking to him or anyone. Out of shyness, not intentional cruelty. I wasn't aware of his strategy. Worked out for him though, because I returned the book to him at a screening of the Star Wars Holiday Special. We began discussing Robins and I expressed my distaste for Tim Drake. He scowled at me. We got married roughly 3 years later. TLDR, shy husband used Batman to get into my pants, worked okay. I was drunk at a bar in Denver after the Patriots won the AFC Championship game. I'm from New England and had been living in Denver for 2 weeks. She has really curly hair, and I walked up and said, "I'm going to touch your hair." Coming up on 6 months now. I was looking to buy a bicycle and found an ad matching what I wanted online, so we exchanged a few messages and on a rainy Sunday I went over to look at it. It wasn't until I called to say I was running late, and she answered, that I realized I was going to be meeting a girl, not a guy. Shit! I hadn't done anything to my hair, it was raining heavily and I'd been waiting for the bus outside for 10 minutes. I looked like poop. So I arrive and I'm greeted by one of the cutest girls I've ever seen, and to top it off she has a really cute dog too. I mumbled some kind of joke about buying a boat instead of a bike. It was raining really hard at this point, and she giggled. We've been together for 2 years and engaged since Valentine's Day 2015. We both worked at McDonald's and I was chosen to teach her a position. We slowly talked more and more at work. After a bit we started chatting online through Gmail. Then one night I said, "Well typed, you could be my girlfriend if you want to." She said she'd think about it. A week later, she called me and said she accepted my offer and we've been dating 3.5 years now. Hello, I've come to submit my request form for a relationship with you, redacted. Redacted, your request has been submitted and is now pending board approval. Results expected to come in 5 to 7 business days. 5 to 7 business days later. Redacted, congratulations, the board has approved your request. My sister sent me to pick up some Starbucks coffee. This girl, way out of my league, was standing in front of me that looked and smelled amazing. Great hair, great style, petite, and gorgeous. I had this cosmic, overwhelming sense that if I did not say something to this girl I would kick myself in the ass for the rest of my life. I tapped her in the shoulder and introduced myself and asked her if it would be okay if I gave her my number. She said okay and I left thinking that whatever happens at least I had the balls to try. She called me a day or two later and we had our first date the 29th of December, 99, 2 days before the millennium. Together ever since. TLDR, married 12 years, together 15.5. 2 kids. House. 2 cars. Dog. Just talk to her, the rest of your life may depend on it. At church. We're both Christians, but even if you aren't I'd recommend showing up Sunday mornings. Oftentimes there's some kind of coffee, food, social time afterward too. The sex ratio tilts female, the people tend to be friendly, and you might even learn something good from the sermon. The biggest problem with using church as a dating service is you're pretty much guaranteed to end up with church-going Christians. Not a deal breaker, but I'd be starting off on rocky footing. Was working the drive-thru at McDonald's when she came through with her friend driving. She said to her friend that I was kinda cute, so when I opened the window to give them their change the friend screamed, "She thinks you're hot, she wants your number." I gave it to her, and we've been together for almost 2 years now. Ladies' perspective, here. I met any you all my SOS by being bold, despite being typically shy. You only get out of any relationship to exchange the effort that you put into it, so I set myself up for success. Yeah. Success. Communication is important. We met in a college course we had together. I thought she was cute and seemed nice and cool, so I paid attention for her name. One day, she was wearing a cute hat, it really complimented her, and I told her that after class. We talked on our way out of the building and went our separate ways after she said she had dinner plans. After that, I noticed she would slowly make her way out after class ended so that we would leave at the same time. Then we'd talk about stuff and I'd ask if she had dinner plans. Eventually we ate together. Once spring break rolled around, we both decided individually to get each other's phone number, that led to a date and the happiest time in my life. We had friends in common and they wanted to sit together for a class, so we ended up sitting next to each other and we started bonding through music. We both enjoyed metal, which we never expected from the other, that led to us talking regularly, and then we started dating. That was 5 years ago and now I feel old. Not proud of this. I met my current girlfriend at a party that I was at with my now ex. Broke up with her a few days later because I was unhappy, and meeting the new chick finally gave me that extra push. OkCupid. Seriously guys, online dating can work pretty well. Plus OkCupid is free. It helped that I had met her once before in high school because one of her friends was one of my friends, so I broke the ice with that. That was 5 years ago, and now we own a house together and are soon to be engaged. My first GF was my GF since elementary school, and was so until freshman year of high school when she went crazy. My second asked me out, the third I met online and made friends with before I ever knew she was a girl, and my fourth I helped study for a class in college, and we kinda just spontaneously started kissing. The good news is I've always had companionship, the bad news is I have no idea how to ask girls out. In class, with her then boyfriend. Freshman year of college, we were in the same class. We never talked to each other during class because she was in a relationship and because I was too shy. One day, we got paired up to proofread each other's papers. As a journalism major, she was confident there wasn't much I could correct, and as an engineering major, I hadn't written a rough draft yet. So instead, we talked about baseball and cars. As class ended, we walked out and I asked if she was nerdy at all, comics or video games, and she said she loved Assassin's Creed. Dumbfounded, I told her she was the perfect woman. And then her boyfriend walked up from behind us, grabbed her hand and pulled her away. But it's all good, I won in the end. At my nephew's birthday party, and she bent over in front of me by accident, she had a cute butt, and I guess my mom saw me looking at it. My mom started the conversation to her and introduced us to each other. Went on a date for ice cream and been together for 7 years. My mom was my wingman. We are separating currently though, but are still good friends, and I pretty much claim her daughter as my kid, so it's cool. I am always the funny man in groups and such. And I was the singer in a regional popular metal band. But I was terrified of asking girls out. This one girl threw hints at me for 6 months in a row, until she got tired and just took me. Afterwards she said she had to because we were finishing high school and we lived far apart. So chances were we'd never see each other again. Been together 12 years now, married 5 years, 2 kids. The love of my life. I was texting a lady friend of mine sophomore year who went to a different high school when she said that I and a friend of hers texted alike. After that she promptly announced that she was setting us up and we're heading off to college together next year, smiley face. It was in my holidays in Italy. She said hi on the breakfast. We met 2 hours later and talked for like 5 hours. She was the sweetest girl I ever met. We talked for like 3 days, then she went home. In a messenger we wrote the whole nights. After like 4 weeks, we decided to meet up again, 180 kilometers away. We kissed us, but still weren't together. After 5 days I said to her that I love her, and now we are 11 months together, and in 1 week I will move to her. Smiley face. Boy, that would have been awkward if she hadn't liked you. Edit, my most popular comment by far. It means surprisingly much to me, especially since it's my birthday. Edit, thanks for the gold, guys. Nice birthday present from Reddit. How does one moderate that many subreddits and some large ones too? It takes me forever to go through the front pages of all the subreddits I'm subscribed to. You obviously have some Reddit internet magic going on there. Mod tools help a lot. Most of the subreddits I'm subscribed to I also moderate because I only enjoy moderating communities that I also enjoy being a part of. This post gives me a lot of hope. My boyfriend and I have been friends through high school and have been dating 7 months. We head to separate universities, but we plan to stay together and have already discussed how important having a future together is for us. Was getting through university so far from her challenging? 2 of my friends who were high school sweethearts broke it off in college saying they would re-evaluate after because that kind of long-distance relationship is straining. They are happily married for 6 years now. This is amazing and sweet. However, to other guys, please don't stare wildly at women hoping eventually they'll talk to you. Chances are they may just get creeped out and won't see how actually non-creepy you really are. And he'd sit quietly and let me vent about how terrible my ex was, and then one day we're dry humping on his futon. Well, that escalated quickly. Girls always vent about stuff to me, maybe there is hope. Then again, my male friends also vent to me too. The thing about Filipinos is, Filipino parents love to hook you up with other Filipino friends' kids. Source, them Filipino. My mom tried to ask her coworker who is also Filipino for her daughter to hook up with me. Never got to meet her daughter though. I like when people go out their way to annoy the shit out of me. Not sure why. Maybe it's the thought that those people think you're worth expending the energy to get a funny reaction from. Maybe it's because it feels like the universe might know my name. I tried my darndest to shoo her off. 6 years and counting. This sentence juxtaposition doesn't make me entirely confident that you aren't tied up in a basement using a phone she doesn't know you have. It was kind of one of the perks about being on MySpace, wasn't it? You'd get the people that were really attention heavy on how many friends they had. I used to just accept anyone. Now on Facebook it's like I don't know who the fuck you are, ignore. At first I was like oh, then I was sad and then I was happy again, but then I was like WTF no, why would she do that? But then I was like yay I know again. Glad it worked out. Edit, yay me and my highest upvoted comment so far. Okay Cupid, I literally just get ignored on. I try to only message women that I feel I have something in common with and talk about that, but I really feel I would have better chances just spamming a tits or nah to every one of them. I mean, I get that I'm a pretty average guy, but damn, not a single response? Hello, I've come to submit my request form for a relationship with you, redacted. Redacted, your request has been submitted and is now pending board approval. Results expected to come in 5 to 7 business days. 5 to 7 business days later. Redacted, congratulations, the board has approved your request. Went to the garden stand area, got some apples, not sure if single guy unfamiliar with grocery shopping, or legitimate difference in English dialects. Where are you from? Also, congrats on marital bliss. Midwest. I should have written produce area, but this store has a sign over the produce that says garden stand vegetables that sticks in my mind. I would avoid this if you aren't religious, otherwise you end up dating her for 2 years and dumped when she realizes she can't spend the rest of her life with someone with different beliefs, even though she admits she loves you. But I'm a bit jaded. And oddly specific. 2 of my friends who were high school sweethearts broke it off in college saying they would re-evaluate after because that kind of long-distance relationship is straining. They are happily married for 6 years now. Long distance is always a huge challenge. I've seen plenty of cases where it didn't work out and a very healthy handful that did. You're both going to have to put on your big kid pants and hunker down. You're both about to make a big change in your lives and are heading into a situation of more freedom than you've ever had before. It's a time of growth and exploration, and you both should really consider that and talk about it. Now's the time to be very honest and open with each other, even if it's hard. You need to be on the same page after lots of discussion and soul searching if you are really serious about maintaining the relationship. Good luck! I have never been hit on before in my life. As a male, the probability is even lower. Not to mention it was in my university first year Comp SCI course. During a tutorial, a girl that seemed to be struggling in the course approached me for help, to which I agreed. We exchanged numbers. I never saw the hint. She asked if I was busy after class, and if I liked to get some coffee. I declined because I had another lecture right after. From her point of view, it looked like I was rejecting her. I can still remember the disappointment on her face. Also, the 3-month salary rule is complete bullshit. In the UK, it was traditionally 3 months disposable income, which is pretty damn different, and also fair regardless of how much you have to spend a month on bills. That rule actually makes sense. It means waiting 3 months before you actually propose. Which is a very good idea when it comes to making decisions that will last your entire life. This is far easier said than done when your GF doesn't want to explain to every single one of her friends why her cheap boyfriend didn't get her diamond. When literally everybody else has a diamond, it isn't easy to tell your GF she shouldn't want one too. Edit, autocorrect incorrectly changed your to you. Nothing really happened in the week in between. We chatted online a couple of times, and I offered to help clean her room. That's why I went over. The room got a little tidier, and then somewhat messier. I have a love-hate relationship with threads like this. I love them because they make me feel all warm inside, but I hate them because I feel jealous of everyone and shitty about myself. Usually I read them all the way down though, haha. Do I say hey? No, that's boring. Do I mention one of our shared interest? No, that's needy. He'll say something witty. Nope, nothing. Fuck it, we matched a week ago to awkward to start a convo now. Rinse and repeat for every match. It only works if you look cute though. Like if you're a giant hairy guy who's basically twice her body mass and you try to fall asleep on her and then steal her jacket for a blanket, she's going to be terrified. My aunt and uncle actually broke up to go to university, got their careers in line, then met back up and got married. I'm not sure if it was the plan all along or if they just never met someone else and thought, fuck it, sorted my life, I can be with the person I love now. That's not always true. I once knew an Asian girl who tried to set me up with her white friend because get this, I am white too. Just think of what we would have to talk about: Dave Matthews Band, Starbucks, golf, cheese. The list goes on. I was thinking this. I have so many guy friends who aren't the best looking in the world and are horrified if they're set up with a girl who is equal to them. Have no idea why they feel so entitled to a perfect 10 if they're not a 10. Especially when they're assholes to girls they think are below them. Other people see that and it's not a good thing. I have no problem being friends with them. That's actually how I've met most of my girlfriends. The thing is that if I'm not physically attracted to the girl, I won't pursue her. A relationship should have each partner enjoying each other, both physically and mentally. There are lots of girls I've initially thought were ugly, but found attractive after getting to know them. Should give LM a shot, bro. You might start noticing her good qualities after a while. Nah, after a while of this continuous cycle of me complaining about my ex, I saw how great and caring he was and he made it out of the friend zone. If I was Satan, this is the post I would write. I see a bunch of nice quirky stuff that guys do, but then I remember that's really only attractive if they're already attracted to you. Otherwise it's just creepy, and I'm like 99% sure no one's attracted to me. Edit to reply to all the comments. I'm not saying I'm 99% sure no one in the entire world finds me attractive. I'm saying I'm 99% sure no one in my immediate friend group who fits my sexual orientation and is single finds me attractive. But I really like going to that Starbucks D, though I suppose she doesn't ever really work before 3 PM. I may try this. I also may chicken out. I'm kinda drunk at the moment, so that may be bolstering my confidence. As a socially outgoing girl, when I realize a guy is into me who I'm friends with, it literally feels like slamming on the brakes. I'm often taken off guard, and I think, "Yon factory, you moron," as all these moments flash before my eyes that should have been obvious indicators. And I have to admit, the instant realization, coupled with an invitation to date, sometimes leaves my reactions less than graceful. I stammer a lot, and I may or may not reveal I'm in a very happy and long-term relationship. This is often based on how stupid I feel for letting it get that far without realizing. And because I'm obviously not emotionally an adult, I may continue to avoid them, and because of that they will never get a full explanation out of me. So on her behalf, I'm sorry. Please consider subscribing if you enjoyed. Love.